the Democrats have been gaining control in a lot of different places in the government. And Biden, the presidency, that's one of the biggest ones. And I truly think one of the biggest reasons Biden won the election was because of the COVID pandemic and because people were so worn down by the economic downturn. And, obviously the sitting president gets the blame, whether that's fair or not. But they were so worn down. And then when Biden came along and said, hey, I can fix this, I can make this better, just vote me in. I think a lot of people in the middle really trusted him, and they were just, sick of all the drama with Trump that was created by the left.
That's it. The media wore him down. I think that's a huge part of it.
Yeah.
Just shut up. I will vote the way you want me to vote. Just
there was that, and then there was, Biden did say, hey, I'm going to fix this stuff. I'm going to make COVID better. And then, a day in, maybe just a couple days into his presidency, and then Biden basically says there's nothing we can do about the pandemic.
Sorry, folks.
Yeah,
he tried. He tried. He gave it a good try. There is nothing. Was it in the next 6 months or in the next few months? I can't recall.
There's
what
nothing
the
we can do.
Was.
Few months.
There's nothing we can do to change the trajectory of the pandemic in the next several months.
Good gosh, almighty! But he was supposed to be our salvation.
Right.
Oh no! We made a mistake.
And
I didn't.
Biden was going to save us.
I learned my lesson in high school when I voted for a class president who said he was going to get rid of homework, and a week into it was like, oh, I guess I can't change the truth.
Is that true? That's a shame.
But a big part of this like we knew this was a lie the whole time.
Sure.
But a big part of how they sold this to the public was by, first off, pretending like Biden had a plan that was any different from Trump's, which it was not. And second off, pretending like Trump didn't have a plan. Mm-hmm. So like Biden's...
And that lie persists.
Yes. And Biden's senior advisor, Cedric Richmond, he was on CNN, this was 2 nights ago. And he basically said that the Trump administration didn't leave anything. They didn't leave a plan for COVID distribution, which is completely false. Trump was going on about Operation Warp Speed at every possible turn, and he should have. It was a huge accomplishment. And basically, the Biden administration is now benefiting from that Operation Warp Speed distribution plan.
1 million vaccinations a day.
Yep. They're pretending like it was all thanks to them. Yeah, so they had that
evolution. Yeah. Nobody had a plan, and just suddenly something happened, and 1 million people are getting vaccinated.
But all kinds of different places,
a miracle.
Have admitted that, the reason the vaccine distribution is going well is because of Trump. The Washington Post said the accelerating pace of inculcation suggests he inherited a program poised to meet his target of 100 million doses in 100 days. Fauci said, we certainly are not starting from scratch. Washington Examiner, on Wednesday, the day the presidency transitioned, the U.S. vaccinated a record 1.5 million people.
And by the way, where is this going worst and where is it going best? It's going terribly in blue states. But man, those hillbillies in West Virginia, those people who don't believe in science, they are vaccinating like crazy. And of course, we're joking. I, being from Arkansas, am one of your brethren. But that was the idea, was that, they don't believe in science. They're all so backward. But what part of the country has this figured out?
Right.
Well, it's the conservative
And you could,
parts.
you can
supposedly don't believe.
You
in
can
science.
try to make the argument that maybe the Dem states have more densely populated cities and stuff.
Sure.
So maybe that raised the numbers. But even when you take all these things into account and you look at the numbers, like with all of those variables put in there, there's still basically no difference. There's still no difference. And in the Dem states, there's been more economic downturn because of more lockdowns.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the California, Florida example that we were looking at last week. I mean, they finally crossed, and turns out business is still pretty good in Florida. And if you're in California, you're in bad shape unless you're Gavin Newsom's winery.
Yeah. So why do you think so many people were fooled by Biden on all this COVID stuff? Do you think it's just the media obfuscating and just not letting people kind of be able to analyze Trump's plan versus Biden's plan in a really transparent way?
I think it is some of that. Yeah. I also believe, like Josh mentioned earlier, a big part of that is just the media narrative.
Yeah.
The people were almost conditioned to believe that Trump screwed all this up. Trump dropped the ball.
Definitely conditioned.
Yeah,
Yes, I agree.
they were led to believe that all this was Trump's fault, and then Biden's the one who came in with the big empty promises, and it just sort of it was a perfect storm for Biden to be elected. I guess it just the
Incredible luck.
Yes.
Incredible
Yeah.
luck. Because the guy who...
If you remember back to the beginning of 2020, there was no
gonna
way
say.
Biden was going to win.
yeah. I mean, it didn't even look like he was going to make it out of the Democratic primaries.
No, Clyburn
Well,
saved him.
Yeah.
More of what I'm saying is there was no way anyone was going to beat Trump
Yeah.
with how well the economy was doing.
And
So-
I will add, Mike, you briefly mentioned this, how Biden's basically just aping Trump's plan and calling it his own.
Yeah.
My lovely wife, who may or may not be watching, she is like the least political person you will ever meet. I had the news on, and they showed a graphic of Biden's plan, his multi-step plan, and my wife, with no political prowess, like kind of just blurted out, "That's Trump's plan."
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, if my wife can recognize that, that's not a great sign for Biden.
I think you're 100% right. People recognize, the American people are not stupid. And I don't think it's going to
Despite
take
what
any
Democrats
time. Despite
think.
what
Yeah.
Democrats say, you're exactly right. And, what was a rude awakening for these folks just a few days ago, I think Keystone was the first
Yes.
thing. All of a sudden, day one, 8,000 union jobs
Yeah.
gone. And I'm no huge fan of unions. But, I mean, his entire appeal was, hey, I'm one of you. I'm from Scranton. Not really from Scranton. He's kind of from Scranton. But, man, I know what it's like. I'm going to take care of you. And then just...
And after the Keystone stuff, after he he finally implemented his ban on fracking, and
Yeah.
after this statement on COVID, I've been pretty encouraged by all the backlash I've seen from people who
Me
voted
too.
for him.
Me too.
Yeah, and it gives me a lot of hope going forward that there might be some pressure on him to okay, he might need to tamper down, otherwise he's going to alienate so many of the people that voted for him.
And I mean, say what you will about whatever you thought of Donald Trump's presidency, what he was campaigning on before he was elected, he stuck to his guns. He saw it through. It is the polar opposite of Biden thus far. We're a week into his presidency.
Yeah.
Just the absolute polar opposite of the Biden presidency, where Keystone Pipeline, what happened?
Fracking
Yeah,
was a big one,
fracking.
yeah.
I was like, what's
I'm
the
a
word?
man of faith. I'm a man of faith. I'm in the
Oh,
Catholic
gosh.
Church.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a man of faith. They really talked about that the last few weeks, and now the unborn taking it on the chin.
Yeah.
I mean, just the exact opposite
Yeah.
of the way he wanted to look.
And it's just
And we tried warning.
We did.
Tried warning
We
everybody.
did. It's just mind blowing. And like you said, the upside, the silver lining to the way Biden's begun his presidency is maybe 2024. The backlash will be raw. My other concern is that all this is so early.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that
I
too.
really hope people don't just kind of forget about it
Yeah.
in 4 years. I don't think they will.
I think
think they will
mistakes like this will continue for a while.
Yeah, that's
coming
true.
from him.
Yeah.
Mistakes, but yeah, he'll keep doing these things.